Hey, lady.
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again?
Titus Hardy gave us a recording where the deceased states his intention to commit assault.
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table. This does not surprise her.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
On this tape, he specifically identifies you as the target.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style?
Those are the exact words he used, yes.
Yeah. That was practically his pickup line.
She picks the cup back up.
Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style?
Kohoi was mentioned.
He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Why say things like that? Machismo?
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
She's quite observant about the human character. Trained to observe, even.
Did you learn this from studying Ornese Lit? Sounds psychological.
People who go to university know how to use words like internalize and integrate, officer. Now, what was that expression?
There's more to this. She has an index in her head of pathologies and how to exploit them. I can almost see her turn the pages. You can trust Pillar Bookhead, by the way. As far as I can tell, he's not singing to her tune. The only one besides me.
I see. So you're telling me Encyclopedia is such a big fucking nerd that he can't be swayed by feminine wiles? That does sound like Encyclopedia. Persona?
Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani's ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
Babe, the Ornese ceramic armor stays on during sex.
When he said he was done, and done mentally, it didn't sound like a joke. Sounded like a deeply troubled man.
Hold on, he said he was mentally dumb. That sounds like a broken man to me.
Well, maybe I pieced him back together with my magical personality.
Oh, she can fix him. She is the honored one, as we established earlier. And you spent time with this person? Romantically?
We're all scraping up any happiness we can find, officer. Going around with our little scouring sticks. You, your first love, Mr. Kohoi here.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems okay to talk about it.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Now that you've had some time, can you tell us more about the victim?
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start.
The lieutenant writes it down in his notebook.
We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
That was very satisfying paper ripping noise.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations recorded neatly in blue ink. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
Where is Lelystad? The place, I mean.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary: cows, silos, and wheat.
Hold on, real quick. Let's put a point into authority. Because we were pretty close to getting Titus, and I would like to.
Oranje? Oranje's map of waterways? This fits with his tattoo.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
You were both Oranje?
Yes. We were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrijk. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
Gotta say, I'm so glad we're playing the version of the game that has voice acting. Can you imagine if I had to try and pronounce all of these place names? Oh, it would be a disaster.
No love for Mother Oranje. But wasn't he a soldier? This could be worth pursuing.
A military man, but not a patriot?
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind.
Hard to say which is worse, you know?
He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader. Certainly not a patriot.
You don't seem like much of a patriot yourself.
There is nothing on Moindi. The old, old world is dead, and we both knew it. Maybe Oranje did bring us together. In loathing.
Moindi? There's no way in a million years I would have pronounced it like that. That's Mundi, brother.
I love Revachol, though. I hope she loves me, too.
A column of air encircles her, brushing gently on the metallic silver fabric that covers her shoulders and her long, slender arms.
Revachol loves everybody.
It didn't love him.
The feeling dissipates. The cold passes. The woman's eyes follow yours to the piece of notebook paper.
How old was he, miss?
He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no.
The memory makes her smile.
We even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
Looks like you were right, officer.
The lieutenant taps on the notebook once, as though assigning some kind of point.
Points are good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die.
Hell yeah. Better not to mention it. Or... no, better not to mention it.
The young woman looks at you, then the lieutenant, then you. She's clearly sensing something. A spike in testosterone levels, perhaps.
His eye color?
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
Well, that's not what he sounded like on the recording to me.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine. Made oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
Interesting. I too have stroked his hair.
Oily, isn't it? We have that in common now.
She says, unfazed. Damn.
She understands what autopsies entail. It doesn't get her off balance.
I don't know that you typically caress the dead person's hair during an autopsy, but whatever. Let's get to the rest.
The young woman nods.
He had a tattoo. What did it mean?
Oh, that.
It was a map. It was an Oranye's map of the waterways.
Sure, waterways. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
Showing off to chicks. How so?
How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Is this Orani's lit?
Is this Oranye's lit?
Yes. This is the very essence of Orani's lit. A moment's respite. Dark and hopeless as the struggle itself.
She leans even further back to demonstrate.
He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star. Port after port. Third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them.
You were the woman in this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Can you tell us precisely what these mean? Hand her the photo.
No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
That's fair enough.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Oranje needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money.
You say this as if he was some sort of super soldier concocted in a lab.
He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people in the Seminine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
Not a very fun story.
It is when you're high. It can be very exciting then. You have the tools to deal with it. It's not a very nice story to remember when you're sober. A change of topic?
Could it be love that did him in?
It very well could be.
What
yes.
do you mean?
What do I mean? I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. Love did him in? What does that mean?
He told me love did him in.
That's not funny, officer.
Her voice is like a slash through the air. Her shoulders tense up.
That was a sharp turn in delivery.
There. She momentarily lost control over straight back guy. It appears that she feels guilty.
Do you feel guilty?
Of course I do. I'm hungover. I feel guilty about everything.
Do you feel guilty about what happened to him?
Among many other things, yes. I could have done something. There's always something he can do, right? Ask me something else.
What is this? An interrogation? You didn't tell her this was going to be an interrogation.
Something miraculous is coming. He told me.
The lieutenant blinks. His expression does not change. All right, let's see where this is going.
From out in the northwest, he told me.
Cool.
There is a sound, something in the reeds, when the wind comes through them, on the inlet, on the little islands there between castaway tires.
There's something we have all forgotten.
Her light brown eyes fix on yours, then disappear behind her bangs as she drops her chin. She agrees.
What happened there? Shivers, do you know something? We ordered a toxicology report. Any idea what it will show us?
A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals, I bet. Barbiturates, amphetamine, sildenafil. How much does the toxicology report cost the police of Revachol? I could do it for half of that. Save you some money, make some myself.
It's quite expensive, miss. But we'll manage without your help for now.
I think we're finished with this line of questioning.
All right.
I thought it was more. The lieutenant puts the slip back in his notes and observes the young woman for a moment.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
These are lit up. Is there anything in there?
Yeah?
Nope.
Alright. Not my favorite topic.
Nope.
How about we...
Alright, cool.
Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
It's what she said, yes.
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old.
Where's this going?
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
Kim, how old do you think I am?
Huh?
How old do I look?
How old? 58?
Oh my god, that's really old. Really?
You asked.
You're probably right. That's about what I look.
Actually, make that 54. Alcoholism has severely impacted your appearance, and I was wrong about the age of the deceased.
Wait. This requires scientific measurements.
Bring it on. I am not afraid of the truth.
To the laboratorium.
Thrilling. The laboratorium. Your face looks like it's 58 and your body feels like it's 60. Your mind feels like it's lived for 1 day or 100, both longer than they ought to be, the day and the century. But for how long, then, has this thing attached to your sentience walked the planet's crust? Time to start raking those brains of yours, Elder One. When and where were you born? Fascinating. All right, back down to Titus again. And I'm not sure what we'll do after that, to be honest with you. Hopefully this turns something up. Because the only other thing I can think that we haven't done off the top of my head is ask if she's got the serial number on the armor again, which she never seems to. Titus, my friend.
It's you again. What is it?
So I talked to Clausier about the tape.
And?
He tenses immediately. Chest tightens. Jaw sets. Ready for another blow.
And nothing. She stands by what she said.
That fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
That fucker wasn't aimed at you. It was at her.
Gold. It was just locker room talk. It's not evidence.
Locker room talk. What are you, fucking brain dead? I've been to plenty of locker rooms. They don't plan rapes there.
I don't know that that's entirely true.
What did she have to say then? Fine by her? This is what people are supposed to be like? Fucking whoop-de-doo.
She did not say whoop-de-doo.
I can confirm that.
I see what you're doing there. Let's push him.
She didn't? Well, whoop-de-doo then.
Actually, I think it made her a little nostalgic.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny. No good goddamn psycho whore.
Titus, you seem to be getting a little angry, brother.
Seems like they wanted to give Claudia a second chance to play along. She still didn't.
All right. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking...
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
Her voice is a bit softer than earlier.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman?
Titus rubs his chin with his palm as if trying to grind it smooth.
You don't have to say everything out loud. Just mix and match.
Maybe she isn't who you thought she was.
Nah, I know her. She's just a girl. In over her head.
Huh. She's a hardcore party girl with a bigger death wish than mine.
Yeah, you're right about that. She takes way too many drugs.
Well, it's as they say. You can't do anything with an underdose.
Demesk says with a philosophical look in his eye. So deep, brother. So deep.
Yeah, underdose isn't an actual word.
Yeah, but I mean, she has an actual drug problem. Not like you. Not like us. I don't think I've ever seen her sober.
I think you had a lie planned, but she didn't play along.
I ask for your opinion, not a bedtime story. Tell it to your grandma.
This tape was the last chance for her to do what was planned.
But she didn't. She knows she can't lie to us, unlike you.
Oh no. He's definitely compromised too. It's his hubris. Sadly, not much to do about it now.
Fantastic. So now, you remember how to do your job. I'm so sick of this piss. We should get something harder in here.
Yeah, guys, we should get a party going tonight.
Why?
Maybe not then.
Damn, Theo fucking shot that down.
Success. They admitted to unlawful collaboration to derail the investigation.
Be straight with me, Titus. What really happened?
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too are growing increasingly silent. The man is slowing down. Looks like a bad blood sugar crash. He can't keep track of all the variables anymore. Who could? It's getting harder and harder to perform one's part in this sordid play. All it takes is a nudge.
Come on, Titus. We know you didn't hang him. He was shot. I know you're tired. So am I. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said, "Fuck on!"
Damn.
That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand? Your little investigation is over.
Yeah.
There is silence in the room. Elaine starts saying something, then thinks best not to.
On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. No one does anything about it.
I think we got him, boys.
What is this quiet funeral shit? All we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
Let's go. Convince Titus he's being manipulated.
Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter. But you know someone who might.
One of his boys will.
Fat Angus, the powerful guy. Mr. All Muscle. The time has come. Put him in the pressure cooker.
Let's do it.
Just remember, it's about more than Glasia. It's about these men and Martinez. Their district. Their responsibility. Outside, under the rising sun. Tattered and in ruins, the windows of the cafeteria aglow with her morning light.
Really? You want me to say that?
Fatang just outside under the
That's it then.
rising sun.
Case closed. We're going
Tattered
home, Kim.
and- He'll get it. Go on.
Write it down, Kim. In Martinez, they just kill you because they don't like you.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Because they like killing.
Yeah, we liked it. It was fun, wasn't it, guys? We had a great time.
It wasn't for your fucking entertainment, Dennis.
He gets a hold of himself.
They kill you because they think it's funny.
They just hang you, shoot you, whatever. They can't even remember.
It wasn't that. It wasn't. We didn't shoot him.
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
The old man reaches for his belt, but his voice is strangely calm.
He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. Steel yourself. Push on. Just ignore Theo.
Or what? Or what? You're gonna kill me like you killed him for no fucking reason?
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Uh-oh.
Shut up, Angus.
He was dead before you hanged him?
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
Does he? His closed fist is shaking. It's you who's in control. Let them have their moment.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus?
Whoa!
Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
Ho 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 ho! We're making some progress now.
You're in. He's all yours. Questions?
Kim, we did it.
The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see.
So you didn't kill him. He was already dead.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. The bullet in his head.
Another nod.
Why?
'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Girls plural. There's another girl. 2 of them. Take note of this. They'll probably say more about her later.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
What happened Sunday night?
Classier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died.
How'd you know?
I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
Shut the fuck up, Shanky.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
What happened then?
We went upstairs. Sure as day the Merc was dead. And there was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
He means they'd been fucking.
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged.
Who's Tibbs, the 8th Hardy?
Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Tibbs. That's short for...
Tiberius?
Yeah. Good man.
Bet their father's name, Atticus Hardy. Lucretia Hardy would be their sister. Anyway.
Alright, I'm gonna put a point into electrochemistry because we still have to try and stop the expression from happening as well. That's on the list of things to do. Because at this point, you know, we're just trying to round everything out. All our mental stuff is doing great, you know. If Clausier didn't kill him, why the cover-up?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
She told me some people were after her from Aranye, but she wouldn't say more.
Yeah, she wouldn't. She's fucked if she shows up on police radar.
These people, who are they?
They're powerful, connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
That's all he knows. That's all she's told him.
Interesting. So she's some sort of spy?
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
So who killed the merc then? Any leads?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
Well, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
That seems reasonable. They could have been trying to kill her. That would make a lot of sense as well. But then why wouldn't they take another shot also, right? Because it seems then it has to be a sniper? I guess not. It could be whoever was hiding in that room back there. Just comes around, blasts through the window, disappears back into the room again. No, it was locked from the inside, though. Well, I guess that doesn't matter if you could, because I don't actually know the mechanism by which the door was locked. So, like, they were being spied on. Maybe we have it all the wrong way around. Maybe they were after her and they got him by mistake, because apparently she's important. Oh, I fucking love solving crimes. This is the shit that I live for right here.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Clausia. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
The question is, though, why they wouldn't keep shooting. I guess maybe they just thought she died initially. She might have stayed there stunned for a second. Then they go away thinking they got her. I guess there's ways around it.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
You haven't been thinking a damn thing, Eugene. And you had ideas about his past, too.
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell.
I'm not too sold on this, because it seems like a weird way to do it if that's the case, right? Like that's a really public way of doing it. If it was the people that were with him, why wouldn't he just disappear one day?
Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
He's calm now. Threw all that turmoil away and became himself again. These theories, not bad. Don't buy either one, but still. This guy's not as dumb as he looks.
You know, I got some problems, but they don't seem unreasonable to me. Whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Hers?
In a manner of speaking.
Remember the two girls? He may be talking about the other one.
Earlier you said girls asked for your help. Who was this the other girl?
That's right. It was her idea to hang him. I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message.
It's her, isn't it? The drug trafficker. The missing 8th Hardy.
Fella, you think too much. He's off all right. You're gonna hurt your head. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy boys. You don't know her, anyway.
You know, it's okay for there to be a Hardy girl, Titus.
We're Hardy boys. And that's it.
Sure. But can you tell me anything about this affiliate? Name, current location?
Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Klasia you want to talk to.
I'm sorry I made you guys fight.
Me too.
Thanks for this, Titus. I'll go talk to her for the last time.
You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go.
Suddenly, the wind picks up outside. You hear it rattling the large windows in their frames. It carries newspapers, circles the whirling in rags in a warm column.
She, Klasia, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection.
But you would still prefer if we didn't take her away.
That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
The lieutenant slides his notebook into his coat pocket. He turns to leave. We've made so much progress today. What a day it's been, and it's not even noon yet. Crazy. Alright. The way the camera just suddenly zoomed right the fuck in concerned me. I thought we were going to get ganked or something for a second there. Clausier, my friend.
It's always good to see you.
She cracks a weary smile, leaning back against the railing.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
The Hardy Boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
She puts her coffee mug on the table.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
Chill, I'm the cool cop, remember?
I'm sorry for wasting your time. I should have known that you'd find out.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two. Then move on to questions. No, it's not good. It's the opposite of that. This will let her dictate the terms of your... Shush, I can't hear what she's saying.
Rhetoric, I think you might be compromised.
Why did you waste our time then?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
Is she implying the Hardy Boys are the law?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I am the law. The law. That's me.
I know that. But the people around here, they don't see it that way.
I just got a rare
If
achievement.
I am to stay here, I need to get along with them.
Got a rare achievement for saying I am the law 7 times, so that's cool. That's not a good enough reason.
You're right. There's more.
More?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon, grey and pale violet in the morning light.
What lies beyond it?
The pale, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Oranje, the old, old world, the conference centers, the people who are angry at her past.
Is that why you're looking over your shoulder? You're afraid of the moral intern?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
Is this about the people that are, you mentioned, the ones that are angry at you?
It is. They're after me. And they have friends in the moral intern. Some are moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will.
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Fucked? People after her? Moral intern people? This isn't Oranese lit.
Oh, you're right. I'd completely forgotten.
Here we go. For once, you seem to have her off guard. Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
A little bit, yeah. You said you studied Ornese Lit. What is with this fugitive stuff?
I did. I also had a side job selling insurance that I was really good at. Got picked up by a bank. Competitive intelligence, they called it. After that, I sort of, transitioned out of the whole culture scene.
What did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravishol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage.
Oh.
I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lou's County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them.
But she really destroyed them. She still feels it.
As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too. Along with Lou Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Laws cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Papalolo!
Yeah. Papa fucking Lolo wants to kill me.
Amazing. I'm sure there are people who have done much worse than that.
Sure. I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people, too, not just C-suite.
She shakes her head at the thought.
A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
That can wait. Look into her eyes. There's more.
What did you do?
One of them killed themselves because of me.
I can see why this might weigh on you then.
She says it quickly, like she's said it 100 times. To herself, to get used to the idea, out of guilt.
That's not easy to deal with.
How do you deal with anything? It's all just... How do you do it?
I don't either.
There you have it. The way of the warrior.
Around her, a drop in the atmospheric pressure. Not long from now, it will get dark, and the air will start moving faster, circling the box she stands on. She's already in prison here for what happened, and she's prepared to never leave, even after his death.
What happened here, the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
She points to the window. The silhouette of the bed is visible. Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass.
Okay, almost no shot this guy missed then, right? Seems pretty unimaginable the guy wasn't aiming for him, given this configuration of people.
I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could...
A great pain moves through her, a dark and indefinite wave. She continues in spite of it.
That's gotta be pretty brutal to deal with. The dude's inside you and dies. You know, that's gonna stick with you for a long time.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
Then what happened?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs.
There's a long pause. She just stands there, her arms at her sides.
I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
I'm sorry this happened to you.
So am I.
She looks down. Her cigarette has singed her fingers.
She throws it away and immediately proceeds to light another one.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Titus said you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No,
What did you do then?
nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
Run, woman. Run past them and out into the streets where it's dark and people move. To the lorries at the intersection, as far as you can.
Why didn't you run away from here? As a matter of fact, why are you here now?
I already ran. I ran from an entire Isola. I can't run any further. Not with these people. This is as far as it gets.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby's the other girl?
Ruby?
Before we continue, who's Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader?
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
That little bitch. He's not the Hardy Boy after all.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
Would you say she is the 8th Hardy Boy?
Why not?
Okay, let's go on then. Well, let's go on. What then?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does.
That's pretty smart. Gotta say. Very impressive that they thought to do that. Then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
Oh, this Ruby. Where is this Ruby now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later.
That's an excellent question, Logic. I hadn't even really thought about it.
What are you doing? Coming up with a theory. She said Ruby knew something was wrong before she said anything. How come? It was loud downstairs. She couldn't have heard the shot.
Could just be intuition, but, you know, you're definitely scheming something here.
It is ominous. You already coming up with theories that put the blame on someone other than Glacia.
Excellent point, Volition. I like when the voices in our head talk to each other. I don't know why. It's very entertaining to me. When it happened, did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
Seems unlikely that the shot was very close then, doesn't it? Because surely if they were right outside the window, she would have heard the gunshot, not just the glass.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
Yeah, has to be a sniper pretty much, doesn't it? Did you kill Ellie?
What? Why would I put myself through this? Insanity. Get myself cornered like this. He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him.
He was a serviceman. He must have had a gun lying around, close to her hand. A military weapon using jacketed ammunition. Now, you guys suddenly have theories pouring out, when they're obviously just stabs in the dark.
Downstairs people have this crazy idea that you killed him.
I'm sad to hear that. They must have said it in some fit of frustration or under pressure. They couldn't have meant it. I've talked to them after it happened. No one has implicated me.
It's okay if you did it in self-defense.
I did not kill him to defend myself from rape. I told you before. That wasn't what happened.
True, sire. 'Tis true.
You can understand why I would be apprehensive to just brush it off, though. He must have had a weapon nearby. Let's not continue this. Okay, I'd like you to answer some other questions.
Like what?
Could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone.
But why wouldn't they just kill you, though, right?
So they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
But maybe it did.
I just don't know. I don't know anything.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. But there's one thing I know, is that you'll get nothing from there.
Why did you call the cops if you're hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
Oh, fair enough.
Which is an indicator of truth. Idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
I don't think so. Why did you do it?
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him.
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat moves. It takes all her strength not to cave in and sob. Once. Just one time.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravishol.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible. Oh God. That was a lie too. Who made the call then?
Immediately assumes drama is compromised.
She did, of course.
That seems entirely reasonable that it was her. Volition, you're just very paranoid about the other ones. When was the window changed?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there.
Yeah, in her bedroom, inside.
Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
I was planning to do that, yes, but thank you anyway. I think we're done here for now.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands.
The lieutenant glances at you, then at the door.
He's thinking, are we done here? Or should we arrest her? She's a flight risk and she lied to you. She should be taken into custody. No, that won't be necessary. Just leave her alone. She's been through enough. She doesn't need this police brutality.
I'm inclined to agree, Drama.
This guy won't budge. You have to wake Multiface up, forcefully, if you want to continue pushing her.
Alright, in God's name, wake up.
Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and willow-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately, before she further entangles you in her web of lies.
Could you relax? I feel like you've overcorrected in the opposite direction.
Take it easy. Don't overcompensate with this course correction. Ask questions first. Yes, start at the top. Choose at the bottom. It's how we've always done it. No rush. See?
Your real name isn't Clasier Amando?
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay.
Her voice suddenly cracks like there's a garrote at her throat. Okay, what?
Okay, it's not.
I knew it. Good, you can tell me the truth.
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
Was the passport bullshit too? That passport you keep hidden?
No. It's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Claudia Amandu. It says Anouk Mea Smith.
Falsified documents?
Passport and visa. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name, Maya Smith, to hurt me.
Why would they do that?
I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability.
Very reasonable.
She fears an arrest right here and now. This has been an awful turn of events for her.
Where's this boy?
West of the boardwalk, in the reeds, on the coast there. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I could even find it now. It's useless.
The wind rises, so do the hairs on your back. Somewhere west, small bubbles rise from a plastic ball floating in the water. Rusty, the color of oversteeped tea.
What's happening?
Long, spindly arms are spinning the boy around, turning it, inspecting it like a magic 8-ball, trying to find a way to snap it open.
The phasmid?
Nothing is useless.
I don't... I'm always so surprised when Shivers suddenly has a different voice. West of the boardwalk, in the reeds. We have to check this boy out.
The lieutenant makes a note of it.
You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here, past a broken sewage pipe, right near the waterline.
Tell me your real name.
It's Katarzyna Lazier.
The smile on her face is timid, almost painfully so.
It's a Grad name, Jimsk or Yugo Grad in origin. Not Occidental at all. Smells of motor oil, tiger, economic desolation, and rock music infused alcoholism.
That's a lot of things to smell like.
It also makes Glasia almost an allochronym for Katarzyna Alasia.
Wait, Clasier is an abbreviation of Katarzyna Elysium?
It was a sentimental thing. I wanted to be more me here, this time. So I used my nickname.
A nickname? Who gave you this nickname, Glasia?
Who gave it to you?
A teenage boy. 1,000,000 years ago.
Hold on. Katarzyna Alasia is not an Ornese name. It's not even Mundi. It's Grad.
My parents were Zhimsk immigrants, but I'm nationalized Oranese. All I remember is Oranje. Elysium is my father's name.
Let's do one more. Should we do one more electrochemistry? I'm tempted to start putting points into hand-eye coordination and savoir-faire, because I grow increasingly paranoid about getting into combat, and we are horribly unequipped to do so. I'm going to put a point in hand-eye coordination. I go increasingly paranoid as time goes by. Finally, we meet.
She nods. Her round eyes meet yours. They seem moist from the wind on the roof.
You're probably not even Miss Orange 37, are you?
I am. They can never take my sash and my scepter from me.
Let's go.
Yes, they can, for lying.
Enough.
She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
You know, I think you didn't make that call to the station.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies.
I didn't have any reason to doubt you, but Drama seemed convinced you were, so...
There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
That is the emergency's desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
Drama, you're even less helpful now.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
Say nothing.
She stands before you, holding her back very straight.
So, I don't want to arrest you, but I'm just curious how we progress here. Kim, why have we not arrested her yet?
There may be grounds here. At least for an extended detention.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around.
What if I told you you're under arrest?
But I haven't done anything. Anything illegal.
Failure to aid a police investigation. She purposefully misrepresented information crucial to the case. That's right, gang. Stern and merciless now. Stern and merciless as we reel her in.
You misrepresented information about the case. Without the Hardy's confession, we'd know nothing.
The lieutenant produces a pair of handcuffs.
Please no.
Her eyes become round with fear. She tries to back further off.
I think I know who did it. I know who shot Leslie. You know it wasn't me. Why would I do it? I have no motive.
What do you know? Who shot him?
She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself for certainty. Then, in a hushed voice, she says, gearing up for this betrayal is hard for her.
Ruby.
Why do you think it was her?
She has this thing for me. Ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants.
And what is that?
Sex. And more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became an unhealthy relationship.
We stan a lesbian bodyguard.
When I started spending time with Lely, she told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting. We stopped talking after that, but...
This is concerning.
I don't understand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she's romantically interested in you?
She said she's in love with me. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started developing notions about our relationship.
Well, this does seem pretty direct.
And you led her on?
A little. I was flattered, you know? But then I had to let her off, and it was not easy. I came to regret being friendly with her. We maybe kissed, nothing more.
Sounds like she was fixated on you.
This is just an assumption.
There's this spying thing over here that we have yet to figure out who it belongs to. And, you know, this does seem a little bit suspicious, I won't lie.
I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. But she knew what had happened when I came downstairs.
Logic did say the same thing. but I've had a hard time believing any of them except for volition when we're talking to you.
Somehow, she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she was calm as a stone, too. She cleaned it all up like she had a plan.
This is a familiar theory. You had it too, remember? Could it be that Ruby was covering up after herself? The lynching? Yet again, you're coming up with this. The worst thing is, it may be true.
When Ruby said there would be shit happening if you didn't end your relationship with the deceased, was she threatening you?
She came over one night, drunk, said she'd turn my life into a living hell. I've been threatened before. I can tell when someone knows how to do it. And she's a pro. She must be. To keep the Hardys in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had worked, but...
And how could she have killed him?
You said there was a secret route there, right?
She points to the door that leads to the pinball workshop.
She could have come up through there, then taken this shot. Right here, where I stand. It was too dark outside. I wouldn't have seen her.
But you would have heard her.
Then slipped back downstairs without anyone noticing. That is possible.
It is, but that means she didn't hear the gunshot. So she couldn't have been on the balcony. This doesn't seem to line up entirely, unless Ruby had somebody helping her do it from further away, because it sounds an awful lot like it was a sniper.
Interesting theory. Did she know that door exists? Had you been out there with her?
Yes. She's been up here many times. She used to come to drink on the roof when,
The young woman falls silent. Her mouth moves without a sound.
The peephole.
You're thinking about the peephole, right? The perforation in the pinball workshop wall?
She would have seen us. My bed is right next to...
You mean to suggest she made it?
That's what I was thinking.
No. No. Why would she do that to herself? No. I just remembered you told me about it, and...
Or are you trying to convince yourself right now?
She's not really sure. It was right above the bed. She could have seen all sorts of things from there. Don't let your imagination run wild here, sire. Keep it on track.
Okay, that's it for Ruby.
Okay. And what? Arrest the liar now. Don't arrest her. Push her a bit more, but then let her off. That Ruby theory was solid. And she's beautiful.
Who?
Her. Stop letting her distract you.
I don't know. I feel bad doing it. You know? I'm also afraid that I'm gonna accidentally lock myself into arresting her when I don't want to. Okay, I'll keep you here, miss, for now.
Thank you. Thank you. You won't regret it.
Something tells you, you will.
Let's change the subject for the time being.
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger.
Lies.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. We demand her anxiety. We demand her fit.
Okay, I'm going to stop talking to you now, because I just did not like the way you said that.
As you look back, you think, so love did do him in, after all.
I was right.
If it weren't for her, he would not have been there. The shot would not have connected with his soft palate.
Looks like love did him in after all.
She's silent, holding on to her coffee mug. No vapor rises from it. It's cold. It appears this one has not been entirely corrupted. This may help. This may help the others see.
Say nothing.
Yeah. I'd like to think he didn't love me. Or that it was chemically induced and not real.
Why?
Easier that way.
Was it real?
I don't know.
She looks down at the yard, then back into her coffee.
There's a nod. The smallest of nods. Real as anything.
Let us examine the bullet hole.
This window is pristine on the inside. unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
What happened here?
A vague sense of disappointment fills you. The glass shimmers as if taunting you with its secrets. You get the feeling this room would tell you something crucial if you only knew how to listen.
Tell me again, Kim, what are we looking for here? Ballistics?
I'm not exactly sure either, to be honest. My imagination has a way of failing me.
I've never been more disappointed in my life.
It's a weakness.
Guess we're going to have to put a point into visual calculus, because this seems pretty fucking important. Well, it's okay. We have things to do. We have to go and track down Clasier's passport, because, I don't know, shivers seem to imply that the Phasmid was after it. Titus, do you have anything new to say?
What is it?
Alright, right, of course, I'd forgotten. Okay, I talked to Clasier. Now I need to talk to Ruby.
Why?
These are some good options, I can't lie. A civil war is brewing, and the only way to prevent it is to solve the murder. That means talking to Ruby.
Sounds like you want to push this steaming pile of shit on anyone. And now you pet Ruby. Well, not on my watch you won't. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
Jesus. He throws a glance at Titus as the last syllable leaves his lips. The big guy sighs.
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
Present a solid theory about why Ruby could have done it.
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought.
Why are you so sure Ruby didn't off him?
Because she was here, all night, with us.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
She didn't go out for fresh air for one smoke?
No.
In the whole 45-minute window, she was with you all the time.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has an operation to run from her lorry. We're not getting into what that operation is again, Cop. And just 'cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot him. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
Do you know about the secret passageway, though, Titus?
He's been through it. That means he suspected her too. All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof.
There's a secret route in the kitchen that leads straight to the roof.
How?
He looks sincerely curious. Through what looks like an abandoned pinball workshop.
People say there was a pinball arcade here. Sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo?
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt.
Weird? How? You're wearing the pinball maker's coat.
What do you mean weird, Theo?
Was run by a fella called Nerflock something, who wore a yellow dust coat like the one you have on right now. Weird guy. Never liked him.
It is a very comfortable coat for such an oldie.
I love how much contextual dialogue this game has.
Okay, but how'd you get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator for that.
I can show you the elevator.
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop.
Good one, Kim.
Thank you.
The lieutenant is glad he got the floor plan right there.
From there, a door leads From there, a door leads straight to the roof. You can just step outside.
Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down. All under 7 minutes.
That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Just now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it?
You do agree the shot came from the roof, right?
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez.
Shivers, do you have any input?
Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up.
I have the opposite opinion, though. Have you noticed the winch out back on the outer wall of the whirling?
I've seen the winch. I'm not blind. You saying it's part of the elevator she used to get up there?
That's right.
That's one mystery down then. An architectural mystery. Doesn't much concern Ruby, does it?
There were pinball machines in the workshop, still operational.
Right. What the fuck does that got to do with Ruby?
What if they're somehow connected to the murder? A pinball murderer.
God damn it, Cobb. Are you kidding me? You know it was no goddamn pinball murderer.
Just a thought experiment. Let's go on.
I also found footprints upstairs in the old workshop.
Footprints? Recent?
He looks tough, but there is a nervous twitch in his dark green eye. This is all too close to home for him.
Do we want to say these? Odd. Recent.
What else could you make out? How recent? What size?
About size 43.
43 is pretty large for a girl, don't you think? But then Ruby's what you call a butch girl. She's no daffodil.
Yeah, but that's what's so cool about her. It's why we've been thinking...
I know what you've been thinking, Glenn. We'll talk about it. Once the murder charges have been cleared.
We do stand a butch queen, yes.
Titus, you're not really saying...
He's thinking, all right. Glenn gets silence for an answer. Push forward with this theory.
Have we firmly established Ruby could have had access to the roof where the man was shot?
Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we establish. But a route does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2. Murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. In the shape of a gun. Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself. But what if you miss interesting information that way? The choice is ultimately yours. But...
I don't think we should go with the pawn shop, because we kind of know definitively who that was, so it seems a little too easy, given Everard knew who it belonged to. Jacketed indicates it's not her. I think we should show him the rifle. There are weapons like this just lying around in Martinez.
That looks antique. A Belle McGray. It's inoperable. Where'd you get it?
There's a hidden cellar under the bookshop. It was hidden there, with others just like it.
20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were too many. And there must be other caches too.
God damn it. We need to close that dump down for good.
Okay, I see your point. There are guns lying around. Damn it. I thought we'd found all the old spots. Why was that still there?
We just missed one. Ruby doesn't know this place, boss. Just these cops digging up shit.
I've already established Ruby's running drugs. She could have smuggled guns too.
God damn. That's just about your favorite topic, isn't it? Every fucking 5 seconds.
All I'm saying is, from what I saw in her cabin, she'd have no trouble getting a gun.
Trouble. This is Revachol. Even the roid heads in the gym had a carbine. No one has trouble getting a gun. I still never saw her carry one.
He must be referencing some past case of theirs. He's angry because he knows you're right. What he's saying only confirms your theory.
I don't think the other ones are a great option to go with. Because saying it was jacketed implies that it was the sort of gun that's harder to get. I didn't say I'd prove she had the murder weapon, just that we need to find her.
All right, Colm. Keep talking. I'll tell you when I've had enough.
T, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component.
Clausier told me some pretty interesting things about Ruby.
Yeah. Like what?
Apparently she had a thing for Clausier.
A thing? You mean?
He tilts his head to the side and falls silent.
Behind his squinting eyes, dominoes are falling. Fast. It's all beginning to make sense to him now.
Yeah, but they're both girls.
Indeed, Angus. Indeed. Yes, they are. You are correct.
Girls like girls too, Angus, sometimes. This is one of those times. She liked Glacier.
She probably learned it from a liberal. Come on, guys. She hangs out with you meatheads. This cannot come as a surprise.
Yeah? No. Ruby's got more balls than a ball pit. You'd have to be an idiot not to... Guys, I'm not the only one who knew. Right?
Knew what? First he says she's murdered him. Now she's a too? It's a lie.
Glenn, for fuck's sake.
Come on, Glenn. She likes Monica's titties more than you do. Everyone knows which way the wind blows there.
I did. I knew it. That's why she didn't fuck me at Fatty's birthday party.
Yeah, that's definitely why, Shanky. There would be no other reason for that. It must be because she's gay. There could be no other reason someone would find you undesirable.
She didn't fuck you. 'Cause you're 40, and you still live with your mom, Dennis.
Oh, you hate to see it, dude. Clausier said she made advances on her, and she thwarted them.
Ruby then threatened her and told her to end her relationship with the deceased.
This is some sordid shit. It's also the kind of garbage our Miss Aronier puts out to cover her own ass.
She just told us. Ruby made her scared, and she spilled the beans.
That Ruby is queer as cabaret, now that I start thinking about it. I don't know why I didn't see it earlier.
He looks out the window pensively.
And that's okay. Some are queerer than others. You can still be a hardy. But if you bring your own personal shit into our outfit...
If that's the case, then it's not right. But it's not the case, right?
There are many pieces that fit together that way, Eugene. Face it.
When Clausier came downstairs, Ruby appeared to know that something was wrong.
Nah, man. That's just Ruby. She's got shit under control. That's her whole thing. That's why she's so good.
Plus, man, it's like female intuition. You know, women talk to women. Which is sort of why we need someone on the team who they talk to.
Eugene wants a woman on the team so they can do their job. That must be hard. Half of Martinez is female.
Yes, roll your eyes. Female intuition. That's what it was. You're right, Eugene.
Yeah.
The man seems unsure of himself.
Wishful thinking has no place in a police investigation.
The lieutenant tells Eugene, his voice mild but firm.
A more serious consideration that you wish to avoid is that she knew what happened because she did it.
It's not why did she kill him, it's why did she organize the cover-up.
And I suppose you have a theory about that too.
She could have just been covering up for herself, Titus.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Come on, Eugene.
Time for a logics demonstration.
Eugene, let's assume you killed him.
He scoffs.
Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
Would you prefer to go on trial with your friends as part of a lynch mob, or alone for committing murder?
The man is silent.
If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's a serious violation of the Hardy Code, boss.
Which is why she didn't. This is fucking stupid, Titus. This and the queer thing, all of it. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, it's not looking good, ma'am.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good.
Titus, you have to see it. Things don't add up. We need to talk to her.
Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods. A very small nod. And a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip. This is the only option he cares for.
Why'd you say option? That's opinion.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want. I don't know. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know why?
Why?
She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
Oh, we fucking beat the boss, guys. Let's go.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that.
Right, we have to put a point into visual calculus because 97% chance failed. When did she leave?
Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation.
What was she scared of?
I told you. You.
Me, personally?
Yes, you. The cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
And a hole in his heart. That first.
We've got some good answers here. I'll go with Inland Empire and a hole in his heart.
Why not? You suck on that gun like someone tore you a brand new asshole.
No wonder she's afraid. I have come to declare the ending of the human experiment.
Sure, the human experiment. That's real funny.
He looks at you without smiling.
You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure.
I am pretty tough. What else did Ruby tell you about me?
She said you have a funny taste in clothes and that you won't stop.
Won't stop?
Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up like cans.
I am pretty incredible. This seems believable.
And then when they're all empty, just move on to the next can. Don't look back unless there was something you missed.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
We are fucking incredible, though.
It's not an actual question. Silence. He nods.
Is that true, Kim? Am I a can opener?
You are insistent.
Anything else? Anything?
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This caught Titus. This caught me. But she was too scared.
So we knew Ruby? Interesting. Or she knew us, at least. Do you have any clues on where Ruby went?
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
We'll have to consult Shivers.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn.
Have you looked for her?
A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlog. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
There's the multiple buildings we couldn't go in.
Who's doing this looking? They're all here.
You're all here. Who's out looking?
Lizzie needed some air.
The gardener. But she went to tell Evrart.
You're a smart cop, but you're a stupid person. No one goes to tell Evrart anything. If he has to know, he has to know fast.
It's called a radio, you believe. The gardener may have played you a game when she stormed out. She has her own plan.
Can you tell me where on the coast I should start looking?
Sure. There are some shit houses there. A cinder block town. The fisherfolk there refuse to unionize. So, that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a lorry man.
Do you know what she's doing with Ulan frequencies?
The what now? I have no idea. Boys?
She said she's building a pale emitter.
Oh, fucking what?
What?
We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Ulan frequencies and a pale something. I don't know more.
This guy barely understands what he's talking about.
There you have it. Pale something.
It feels like you'll get to know soon enough.
Inland Empire, that was fucking ominous. It's not much, but it'll do.
It'll have to.
He puts his hand out. Shake it.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. Not just granite, tightly packed RCM Sergeant material.
You should be a cop, Titus.
When are you gonna get it through your dumb head? I already am. I just wasn't sure you were.
And he still isn't. People aren't afraid of good cops in the way Ruby was afraid of you, he thinks, then turns back to his men.
Goodness me, we've made so much fucking progress. Alright, let's go back up and look at that window again, now that we've put that point into visual calculus, and if we fail again, I will cry genuine tears of anguish I wish it would not zoom in like that when this door was opened. It scares me every time. Now.
This window
What
is
happened here?
pristine on the inside. Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed. A two-hearted spider.
What position are they in?
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth. A ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain.
Where does it come from?
From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
Inspect the ghostly figures.
The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
Have a look at point A, the roof.
The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
Shouldn't there be gun residue outside?
There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago.
Somewhat, 80% sure the roof is where the shot was made from?
72%.
Okay.
With a weapon that fires jacketed ammunition, likely a rifle. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies.
Could the shot have come from inside the room, a closer point?
Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, detective.
Are there any arguments against A prime, the roof?
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Could there be another point of origin further away?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Extrapolate the radius to include all of Martinez.
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime.
More precisely?
B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
Have a look at point B prime, the boardwalk.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
And he did it in one shot. You're right. B double prime, Land's End.
1.2 kilometers away. The least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it. Possibly from a tent. No. Too far-fetched.
Have a look at point B triple prime, the inlet.
1 kilometer away. An unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere. On an islet in the Bay of Martinez, perhaps. There are islets there. Badly charted as they may be. The shot would have been a small miracle. 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
So, now, A is obviously the most likely place, but it just doesn't seem right, because she couldn't hear the shot, so it just doesn't seem likely. She would have heard the shot, not just the glass breaking, if they were on the fucking balcony firing a rifle. So that means it has to be one of the B points. And to be honest with you, this might be just me. This might be me metagaming, but if it's any of them, I feel like it has to be Triple Prime, right? Because the doc, like the most likely one, the singular B, it just doesn't feel right that it came from that position, you know? B double prime seems appropriate enough, but is very unlikely by visual calculus's estimates. And maybe just me metagaming, we haven't been to the island yet. So, just following video game logic, the final boss would be in the place you haven't been yet, right? Which is the island, the islet. So, I kind of feel like it has to be over there, actually. Kim, do you think the shot could have come from further than the roof, in Martinez?
From where, precisely?
Let's say B prime, the boardwalk, B double prime, Land's End, B triple prime, the islet.
I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
Much less than the roof, but still.
Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. It fits the hidden path through the whirling. A simple hypothesis.
Blink. Alright. Thank goodness visual calculus didn't fail again. I'd be so mad. Alright, it's time to go to the docks. We've got investigating to do. Well, first we actually have to ask the radio lady again if she has the fucking serial number yet.
You think you have a pretty hot suspect right now, don't you?
Yeah.
That Ruby of yours?
Yeah, and?
Notice how it came together without casting too much suspicion on Clasia. It was nice and Ruby-centric in the end.
What do you mean?
Anything strike you a bit off about this mishmash?
Well, the bullet didn't have to come from the roof. It could have come from anywhere on the coast.
Absolutely. It could have come from anywhere. But you're suddenly so certain it came from the roof behind the window.
Well, yeah, because the window was fucking broken, Volition. It was broken by a fucking gunshot. This isn't really in dispute. The bullet was jacketed. They don't just lie around everywhere, do they?
Good point. It is rather rare these days. But do continue.
The footprints in the pinball workshop didn't fit with the odd souls prints on the crime scene.
No, they didn't.
So far, no one has mentioned hearing the gunshot.
Notice how this hasn't come up at all. Even Hardy and his boys didn't mention it. Neither did you.
I'm done thinking about this.
That's right. Finish thought. Just finish it and conveniently go on. She's watching you leave right now. You know that. Free as a bird on that roof. Lighting up a cigarette and thinking, am I glad Ruby's in this shit and not me?
Yeah, it's probably not Ruby either, but we don't know who it is yet. I don't appreciate this tone, Volition.
Don't listen to this guy. The theory was solid. He's just jealous. Move on. It's no use harassing her further.
I agree. I genuinely don't think she did it.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out tool.
Radio.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Do you have the armor yet?
Yes. It took some convincing, but I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details. Are you ready?
Yes, thank God.
The lieutenant leans in to listen.
I was born ready, baby. The world will end soon.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Kortenaer. That's E-L-L-I-S K-O-R-T-E-N-A-I-R. Exact date of birth, unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February, 09.
Neonatal Care Unit?
He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2.
According to Clasia, Lele said his real name wasn't really his. Perhaps that's because he was fostered.
Interesting.
This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the East Brand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the Seminese conflict. Then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol.
Wait, he was in a leaf compactor?
It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files. So I thought it would be good for you to know.
It is. Thank you, Alice.
Any info on his foster parents?
None, officer. Sorry.
So all we have to connect him to Crenel is the armor.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Alice. Great work.
No problem, Lieutenant.
A compliment from Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Not bad.
That's how I always feel. Well, we have his name and service record now.
A name. This is very good. Elise Cortenard.
This means something to him. To know that name. Like naming a case. It's important. Sometimes police work is about human dignity. About giving back names to anonymous victims.
So true.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions?
That's all.
57, over.
In the cabin,
Great. Now, do we want to level up another point, or do we want to try and learn a thought? Date of birth generator. It does sound interesting. What would we forget? Wasteland of Reality is kind of cringe. Yeah. Actually, no. One more door doesn't do anything. Forget that. And let's get the date of birth generator. All right. To the coast.